for this webinar. So we actually had to buy a new tier. So hopefully everyone got in at about 9 o'clock this morning. We started getting a bunch of people messaging us on support channel saying that they can't actually register because we'd filled up our quota. So we actually had to pay for the next tier up. So yay. That's exciting. But and we have a great webinar for you. We've got two people from RoomPriceGenie. So today, what we'll be talking about is our integration with RoomPriceGenie, and we will be showing you a live demo of it. Just before we kick off, just a quick housekeeping. I can see people are already asking questions, which is perfect. So there are chats. And there should be also a question screen on there somewhere. So yeah, feel free to ask questions in the chat or ask questions in the question box. We will sort of answer them as they come. We do have people on the Preno team in the live chat. So Kendra is in there as well. So if there's anything that someone answers that she can answer quickly, she'll be in there to answer. Yeah, and then so just keep firing through the questions as they sort of come. We will answer them all, hopefully at the end or as they sort of come up. So just a quick introduction. So Andy Collins from the RoomPriceGenie, he's a senior business development manager. Andy has spent 9 years, or 10 actually, working at booking.com. So if anyone knows anything about how do you make that algorithm favor your business over your competitors, it'll be Andy. And Melody, she spent, I feel like 15, maybe 20 years working in the hospitality industry. Specifically, she has been a revenue manager. She's worked for big names like Hilton and Accor. So we're very blessed to have Melody on the team. She'll be doing a demo. So yeah. So just quick housekeeping, what we'll cover off. So we'll talk about why we built this integration. We'll give you a bit of background. So Andy will give you background on RoomPriceGenie, and then Melody will jump in with a live demo, and then we'll have questions and answers at the end of the session. So yeah, as I say, can someone just let me know just so we know, where is everyone from? Can everyone just kind of list the cities? I can see Nelson, Queenstown, Australia, Nelson, Wellington, Dunedin, Fiji. Actually, I'll be in Dunedin mid-August. So if you're at the Motel Association event, I think Ben from your team will be there as well. So yeah. Wanaka, Takaka, Hamilton, Albury, we got Australia, Rotorua. Nice. New South Wales. Okay, cool. Can anyone find the question area? Can someone ask a question? I want to see where the questions come up. Can you ask questions? Perfect. Okay, cool. I saw one question. Ooh. Yay. Perfect. Cool. So now we all know that the questions and the chat works. Kendra's going to help me at the end. Basically, she'll flag any questions that you ask in the chat. She will copy it over into the questions tab. So we'll make sure we cover off everything by the end of the session. Cool. So just quick, the reason we built this, we wanted to build integration with RoomPriceGenie is because Preno is sort of your heart of your business. We run the PMS, we connect to the booking engine, we connect into the channel manager, and we have our own dynamic pricing tool. But what we found was so many people were just requesting RoomPriceGenie. RoomPriceGenie is the best in the industry at this. And so rather than building our own, we decided let's just partner with the best. And so RoomPriceGenie does all the smarts, does all the AI, and basically pushes all the pricing through to Preno, and then we push it on to the channel manager and the booking engine. Yeah. So Andy, over to you.
Cool. Thank you, Menilik. Yeah, my name's Andy. I am at RoomPriceGenie. As we could see, Menilik is reading a LinkedIn profile, and I have worked at Booking.com in the past. Prior to that, I was a hotelier, Sydney-based, and yeah, excited about RoomPriceGenie being part of the Preno community and being able to help accommodation providers and hoteliers like yourselves. Um, cool. So we'll jump on to the next one, Menelik. What we'll do is tell you a little bit about who RoomPriceGenie is. So RoomPriceGenie is founded in 2017, and it started out as the founder is his dad had a 15-room B&B. He came from a finance background where he was building algorithms and looking in that space. And his dad's business was kind of standing still, and he thought, I can help this guy out. I can look at how this works. And he built the first iteration of the algorithm to support his father's business, and that ended up working, boosted his dad's revenue by $50,000 in the first year for that 15-room B&B on the Isle of Man. And that's from there. He was like, maybe this is something that I can do to support other small to medium properties and be able to help them out through there. So what we do, and Menelik touched on it a little bit before, is we provide a revenue management system for small to medium properties. So we're focusing on independent hoteliers, moteliers, accommodation providers like yourselves, and we're there to help you make as much money as possible with the time and the resources that you have within your property. If we go to the next one, please, Menelik. So what we do is we try and make the whole process of revenue management as user friendly as possible. So it's as simple as effortless for you to set up. As you can see, it's easy to understand because you've got that transparency there. It's automated so that you're not having to go in and actually make manual adjustments yourselves. And it keeps you competitive with your market, with your property, and ensuring that you're priced at the best possible point all the time. We recently did a case study looking at just under 600 properties globally. And on average, we see a 19% boost in revenue. This is comparing those properties to the same time last year. And this was irrelevant of the market, the price, the size of the property. You can see that boost there. The hotel still has 100% control. So you can still go in and tweak things, and Melody will go into this in more detail when she shows you how the tool works, but you can be as proactive or as passive as you like within the platform. Those of you familiar with Hotel Tech Report, which looks at comparing different technology providers within the hotel space, we have a 98% approval rating. And you can see there 10 hours saved. So if you think about how much time you spend looking at how to price your property, how much you should charge, etc., on average, we're looking at saving you 10 hours per week. And then as an independent property, what can you then do with those 10 hours? Whether it's looking after guests, whether it's doing other parts of your business, or maybe it's just spending time with your family. So if we go to the next one, please, Menelik. Yep. So just jumping in here, how does it work? So what RoomPriceGenie does is we look at a number of different factors. So we can put those down into internal and external. So from an external factor, so we look at the market that your property is based in. So within that, we're looking at the hotels, motels, accommodation providers around you, and we're looking at the Airbnb data. So we're not a rate shopping tool. So we're not looking at how much X hotel is charging or Y hotel is charging. What we're seeing is how the market is moving. So it's a full market analysis of what is happening and making sure that your property is aligned with that based on your strategy. we also look at internal metrics. So that's where we're seeing what your booking levels are, what your pace of booking is, what your length of stay is, and all of these things Melody will go into more detail. And once we have that information, we use our algorithms and intelligence to optimize the rate to put it out there into the market. Like Menilik touched on, we push that through from the PMS, which goes to your booking engine, which goes for your channel manager to all your distribution channels. This is done automatically, and depending on which packages you use, multiple times a day, and full year in advance or 18 months in advance, 24 hours a day. So there's never a time when the tool is not working for you to ensure that your pricing is as competitive as it needs to be. Go to the next one. And then how does the integration work? So again, a little bit similar to what we looked at earlier. So we have the information that we're looking at in the market within your internal tools. We then push that through to the PMS, which in this case is Preno, and then that distributes it out to all your channels there. Okay, and next. I touched on earlier about it being a simple process to get started. So the best way to understand how RoomPriceGenie can work for your property is to give it a trial. So once we're finished up here and you decide you want to learn more about it, you can schedule a demo with our team, and that will be a one-on-one scenario. And from there, you get access to a free trial. So with that free trial, you get shown, sorry, with the demo, you get shown the tool, how it can work for you in an in-depth environment. Then the next step is the integration to make the most of the free trial. So this can be as quick as 1 day, or it can be up to 2 to 3 days, because there's a couple of little parties involved. You as the hotelier has to give us information. We build the listing, and then we integrate with Preno. Once that's gone live, you have a kickoff meeting with one of our sales and revenue managers, where they'll again go through the setup of your property, make sure that it's aligned with your strategy, show you how to use the tool, show you how it will work for you, and then you can go off and start making use of the platform. We then have a review session, which is set up within a number of days after you've gone live, to go in and check what's been happening, answer any questions that you have. And then once that's all up and running, you can then go and turn on autopilot, and RoomPriceGenie will start to work its magic and ensure that your pricing is where it needs to be, and that you're working towards that boost in revenue. If we go to the next one. Oh, all right. So I've kind of given you a bit of an overview. And now what I'll do is hand over to my colleague Melody, who is going to actually show you the platform. And as Menilik said, she's the expert revenue manager, and will bring that expertise to the fore and show you the platform.
Hi, everybody. As Menilik mentioned and Andy just mentioned, I've been in revenue for a few years now, and I guess I've had the opportunity of working both sides of the fence. I've actually set up RoomPriceGenie at hotels that I've worked at, so firsthand I know it works. And I also I'd love to show you the platform now, just to give you an idea of what the system is like. I know a few of you have already touched base with me and have had a look at the platform, and the best way to do that is the one-on-one demo. But I'm just going to share my screen right now. Sorry if I'm looking sideways, because I'm looking at another screen. I guess this is our platform. This is a calendar view of RoomPriceGenie. This is a demo property, so your live property would look slightly different to this, but this is also, as Andy mentioned, we have various packages. The package that I'm showing you is the advanced package, which is probably our most popular package. And here the system prices you 12 months in advance, and it updates your rates in the system 4 times a day. So as I mentioned, this is a calendar view. You'll have this view for each room type that you have in Preno, and the prices that you see in green is the system suggesting that you move your price up. The prices that you see in red is where the system is suggesting you move your price down. The little occupancy that you see attached to each date is the occupancy that your property is currently sitting on for that day. Now, I'm just going to click into one of the days just to show you how the system works. As Andy mentioned, we work off 3 basic pillars. It's simple, it's efficient, it's transparent. We tell you exactly how we're pricing you, and you can look at any day and you can see exactly how it's priced. The first thing we do when we integrate is the system will look at the next 12 months for each room and look at the price that you've got in place currently. That then becomes your base price. It's just an average rate for the next 12 months of each of these rooms. The next thing that we look at are your external factors. Those are your market factors. What we do is, unlike other platforms, we look at the fluctuation in the market. We're not looking at price because it then becomes a race to the bottom. We are looking at the fluctuation of the market. So we take an average of hotels, motels, and Airbnbs. So we get a really holistic view of the market. And in this case, as you can see, the whole market is coming down by 5%. The next thing that we look at then are your internal factors. We're going to look at your occupancy, your pickup, how fast are you picking up for this particular day, and your pace. Looking at these 3 factors, the system then works out an algorithm in the back end to work out what is your pickup factor in this particular room type for this day. In this case, it's saying that your pickup factor equates to minus 11%, which is $26. As Andy previously mentioned too, you can put in as many adjustments as you want. If you want to, or you don't really need to, the system will do its stuff for you. And when we do a one-on-one demo, we will go through these a lot more in detail. But some of the adjustments could be days of the week, months of the year, if you're really seasonal. But what I wanted to bring to your attention here is, for each room type, we ask you at the time of integration to give us a minimum and a maximum. The reason we get this from you is so the system works within preset minimum and maximum rates, and it aligns with your hotel strategy. Now, this is a default rate. You will have different rates for different times of the year. Obviously, during a quieter season, your minimum and maximum will look very different to what it would look during a busy time. In addition to all this, if you can see here, you have like a little lock on the screen here. You can fix your price in the system for a particular day if you want to, where the system will then lock the price in case you have a group or you decide to do something like that. It'll lock the price and the system will not touch it. Otherwise, the system will automatically update your pricing 3 times during the day and once overnight on an advanced package. And on our professional package, it will be done on the hour, every hour. I'm just going to show you something else. This is a chart view, which is a bird's eye view of your property for the next 12 months or the next 18 months, depending on your package. What the dotted lines are here is your minimum and your maximum rate. The black line is your base rate. The gray line is your rate in Preno at the moment. And the purple line is what the system is suggesting. What this chart does really, it's one quick glance to tell you where the dates are that you're hitting your maximum rates. You know you have the opportunity to move your rate up there. You can go in and extend that maximum rate. It also tells you you could probably put in length of stays there to capitalize on revenue. Similarly, it'll tell you periods of really low demand where you could probably look at packages, promotions. So it's giving you so much of information, not just your pricing, but it's giving you a lot of information about what's happening in the market, what you're looking at for the next 12 months or 18 months. The one last feature that I just want to highlight here is something we have called a surge protection. What this is you can set this based on your property to whatever day you want. You can set it for, if you say to the system, if I get more than 5 rooms in a single day, more than 60 days out, this can be changed again to 20, 10, whatever you like. What the system will do, it'll send you an email almost immediately to say, you've had 5 bookings in a 24-hour period. Something's happening on that day. So it prompts you almost immediately. And in an advanced package, you'll get an email and it'll tell you, get into the system, and on your calendar view, you'll have a little button here which will say Surge Protection Day, and you just click on it and it automatically updates your price for you. If you don't do it then and there, in the next upload, the system will take care of it. But the system is giving you an opportunity to do it almost immediately. This is in our advanced package. In the professional package, you can actually fix a price of, say, $6.99 or something, and let the system decay your price gradually down till it meets the market. Now, the reason why we brought this in was events like Taylor Swift and other big events where hotels were getting booked out in a matter of minutes. So a lot of people lost revenue and opportunity really during times like that. So this just takes care of that. And I guess I like talking about our package. So I just want to tell you one last thing here before. On this screen, you see something which just says the targeted occupancy is 90%. At the time of setup, we will also ask you for your targeted occupancies. And what we do is the system then works out, say for instance, I'm looking at August here, but the system is worked out on today, the 22nd of July. For you to reach 90%, you should be sitting at 43%. However, this property is only sitting at 35%. So what the system is going to do, it's going to kind of work out how can I get you back on track to get your occupancy in line with your targeted occupancy and simultaneously work on your rate. So the system is constantly doing that. It's looking to find a sweet spot of where you can capture more occupancy and at the best rate. So we're not looking at any one of them in silo. We just want to build your revenue. And that's what the system is doing. And as soon as you're ready to go ahead with something like this, one of us can give you a one-on-one demo, as Andy mentioned. And once we get that, we'll go through the whole integration process with you step by step, and we'll set you up all the way through. We'll be there to constantly, I guess, support you to make sure your system looks like what you want it to. And as I said to you, we have the opportunity for you to put in extra adjustments. Sometimes you may think, oh, those rates are way too high, or those rates are way too low. We can look at it and get you to understand why the system is looking at that. And if we need to make some tweaks, because you know your property better than we do, we will work with you to make sure we kind of get you the best revenue you can. And I think as an overall, what most of our clients see, they don't only see higher rates during, I guess, periods of high demand. They save time, and most importantly, they see pickup during those quiet periods because the rates are constantly getting flexed. We're just constantly trying to get you that occupancy and the rate. And I think just to end this, we also have a really great offer for y'all. So if you'll do decide to subscribe in the next quarter, that's before September, RoomPriceGenie would love to offer you all 50% off for the first 3 months on any subscription, either a monthly one or an annual one, whatever you like. Back to you, Manpreet.
Yay. Oh, people are liking the deal as well. Great. So now we have a whole bunch of questions. So I'll slowly work through them. Buffalo Lodge asks, how does it work with Booking.com, Genius, and their variable discount?
Okay.
Yeah, over to you, revenue manager.
So basically what we do is we are pricing your tools. So the Genius discount is something very different because that's what you set up with Booking.com. So that's something you're going to have to talk to Booking.com and either turn off Genius, because what we replace is your actual pricing. So we are pricing you in Preno. We are not looking at, we'll send whatever prices we send to Preno. Preno's going to send out to Booking.com. So it's like what you would do normally. The Genius discount and everything is something that you'll need to turn off or turn on with Booking.com. We don't really look at the distributors. The distribution is totally up to you.
I can add a little bit of color in there. Genius, typically, when you turn on Genius, they typically decrease your price. So Preno, the PMS, might say, okay, your price for Booking.com is $100, and then Booking.com Genius would basically lower that by 15%. And so that would be, customers will be able to buy it for $85. And so effectively, if you turn on RoomPriceGenie, your prices will flow through this exact same way. So if you've got Genius, they'll still discount whatever price RoomPriceGenie sets. So that's how that process would work.
Yeah. Also, probably the main thing there is if we're pushing the rate up, your Genius prices are going to go higher. Mm-hmm. So that revenue that you're generating is going to be higher through those channels. Yeah,
and I mean, Genius is more of a marketing channel. Again, Booking.com, I mean, Andy probably answered this, but I find Booking.com favors businesses that have that turned on. So
yeah, it boosts your ranking.
Yeah. Benjamin asks, how long does it take Preno to build the integration for Preno? I'm guessing for RPG, for RoomPriceGenie.
Okay. Basically, if you're an existing Preno customer, all we need to do is we work out, we'll send you some information. And as I said, we'll guide you through the whole process. It can take anywhere from 24 hours to, we say 2 to 3 days, just to be on the safe side, because we need some integration information from you, which is basic details. We'll send you something and a guide as to how to connect with Preno. And I'll get some configuration information like room types and your minimum and maximum rate, just little things like that, so we can build the system for you. And that can be done in 24 hours normally. In case there's any connection issues, it may take slightly longer, but it shouldn't be more than 2 to 3 days.
And then from the Preno side, it's just as simple as your zero integration that you've probably got now. So there's just if you logged into your Preno account, you'll see it there. There's a connect with RoomPriceGenie button in there, and then it's basically we just need 3 fields from you, and you'll get that when you deal with RoomPriceGenie. Cool. So the next question, will this new RoomPriceGenie integration enable easy data extraction for queries? For example, which dates we have listed for the next year for lower than $200 per night? Complicated compound question. I think he's asking, can we export data from RoomPriceGenie?
Not really. I guess you can see a screen. You can see a screenshot of it, and you can see a weekly, I guess, a weekly view or a monthly view. But at this stage, you can't extract any data from us.
Is the backend support, after hours support, linked into Preno or independent of Preno?
Independent. We have, and also remember, being a global company, we have a 24-hour support. We'll say during the week, 5 days a week, we have a 24-hour support that will come back to you almost immediately, because when Australia is finishing their day, Europe starts, and then America starts. So we have the opportunity of constantly being there for you. You have your online support, and if there's anything other than that, you can always touch base with anybody in support, and one of us will come back to you.
Yep. Further to that, we have a team based across Australia and New Zealand. So during our time zone, your first point of contact is an Australian-based support team.
Is it live chat or is it, how does it work?
Yeah, there's it's live chat. Yep.
We have both. We have a live chat, as well as we have specialized support where you can just send them a quick email and they'll come back to you within minutes. So.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, the team will, most of our customers know live chat with us as well. So, Stephanie, you asked about our Xero invoices. I'm asking if you can change what you display in Xero. That's probably a question for Preno. Yes, you can change it. If you just send us a message on live chat telling us what you want, and someone in the support team will be able to help you. Next, can you set rates with the RoomPriceGenie via an API?
Don't understand that question.
I guess Preno and RoomPriceGenie connect via an API, so you won't have to download the prices from RoomPriceGenie and upload them into Preno. They will automatically be syncing in real time. If you're based in a region, in a regional area, how are market rates determined? Is it compared to properties like us or that are in the area?
Okay, depending on where you are, we do look at properties all around you. And as I said, we're looking at the fluctuation in price. So it really doesn't matter if a property is priced at $500 or $300. We are looking at the fluctuation. Are they taking their price up or are they taking their price down? What we are determining is the market. Is the market going up or is the market coming down? And that's what we're determining there. We're looking at the fluctuation. So we will look at, I guess, properties either really close out, or as you go further, if you don't have that in your set, we might need to go a little further out. But RoomPriceGenie will qualify every hotel that we upload into your segment. Does
the hotel themselves define the segment, or does that market research from RoomPrice?
Technically, we do it through market research, but if the hotel has a specific property where they say they'd love that to be included in their market, we will put it in and we will qualify it though to make sure that it's dynamically priced, it's got clean data, so then we can actually get information out and the system will do that for us.
Perfect. I love it. And by the way, we're getting lots more questions as I'm sort of asking them, and I'm really impressed. We've got a high viewership percentage of people staying on. So yeah, so people want to hear this stuff. Explain the minimum night stay for me. How does
Okay, the minimum night stay restrictions are currently in process. It's not completely developed. So when that is completely developed for Preno, we will launch that for you all. But the way it works is you can actually, once it's done, you can actually set the minimum night stays in RoomPriceGenie and that will push out to Preno. However, at the moment, it's still in development, that module. So when that's done, we will let you know.
And then my understanding just on the Preno side is we've built it. And so as soon as it's ready from RoomPriceGenie to switch on, you'll have it. So you'll have it straight away. Why would you consider packages and promotions when you are relying on RoomPriceGenie to set prices and rates?
RoomPriceGenie will set your rates. They will capture the market for you. Your marketing is where you can grab more share of the market. And that's where I said, as an example, you can look at packages or promotions during quiet periods, because we will definitely price you at the right price and you can grab it. But then if you go in with promotions or packages, you're looking at some additional marketing just to help you.
Cool. Someone's already asked how long it takes. How much more revenue can a hotel expect? Is probably the next question. Yeah, how much more money will they make? I know you covered that, but it might be worth repeating.
It's always worth repeating. So, yeah, on average, we see properties increase their flatline revenue of 19%. So obviously, if you look at what you generated last year, and that would be on average, we'll see that 19% increase for the year once you've signed up. Now, obviously, that depends on the property. So some properties will actually see a far larger increase in revenue, and some will see slightly less. But it depends on how you've been setting your pricing, and in the past. So yeah, the other area on average is we think about, we see on average about an ADR increase of 4% and occupancy increase by 14%. So that's kind of where the contributing factors for that increase in revenue comes from.
So you're also increasing the revenue and increasing the average daily rate and increasing the occupancy.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And that's where when Melody was talking about, she's talking about that full year of attention towards your rates. So if as accommodation provider you've been doing it manually, or you're maybe using some other tools where you're still updating the pricing, you realistically, how much time do you have? You're potentially looking at maybe a couple of months in advance, if that, proactively. But if you think about that, 9 months time, 10 months time, it's not really in your frame of mind yet. You've kind of go, oh, that's a busy time or it's a quiet time, and you might set some rates for an extended period. But because we're looking at it day by day, every few hours, all the time, you're really optimizing that drip of revenue that's coming through. And that's where that really incremental boosts come from in regards to ADR and occupancy, and then boost that almost 20% revenue increase through the year.
Nice. And then I know I've had a lot of customers talk about their fear of using dynamic pricing because they're worried about bad reviews. What are your guys' kind of experience on that?
Well, the whole thing is that I always say to people, it's like airlines. Initially, people were apprehensive about the fact that, oh no, but now you take it for granted. You know the next time you're jumping on, the rate is going to be different, and that's okay. It's acceptable. You may have a few people that would kind of object to it, and you still have the power to override the rate. If you want to give them something at hotel level, you can override it. But in saying that, now the system will not willy-nilly change your rate. If, for instance, as it's doing its, I guess, the data analysis, if there's just a 4% difference, so anything under 5%, the system will hold your rate. It's not going to change it. It's only if it's over 5%, then the system will push that rate out to you. So then you're not changing your rate for $1 or for a couple of dollars here and there. It's a sensible rate increase. So, and it's doing it 4 times a day. So, and it doesn't mean that every time it's doing that update, it's going to change your rate. It'll change your rate only if there are changes in the market, changes in your occupancy factor, or there's something that's happened. That's when it'll change it. So it's going to try and find that sweet spot for you and hold it till you can gain enough of occupancy and revenue.
Nice. Derek asks, I guess there's a 2-part question, is do you log into RoomPriceGenie from Preno, or is it separate? And then can you still manage your rates from Preno?
You log in from RoomPriceGenie. You'll have a dedicated login, which we'll set to you at the time of setup, and we'll go through the whole process with you. And also your prices, technically you won't really need to change it unless you want to make some overrides or you want to add some percentage adjustments, which we will go through in detail with you at a demo when we do a one-on-one demo with you, and we will guide you through the whole process from setup to integration. We'll be there to guide you.
Shelley asked, and similar question, I guess, how does the system deal with promotions on booking.com? And I guess we sort of answered that before, where we said your promotions on booking.com will run as they currently do. So they're almost separate. It's the same way with Preno. If you change your prices in Preno and you also have Genius turned on, Genius will still impact your pricing after Preno's changed it. So there will be no change there. Does RoomPriceGenie replace Preno's dynamic pricing?
Well,
Yes.
we hope so.
Yes.
No. I guess it's two different things, because the Preno dynamic pricing, as I understand, and very correct me if I'm wrong, it's an occupancy-based pricing. So basically, you set certain rules and you tell the system, if I'm at this occupancy, move my rate up by this percentage. Whereas what we're doing at RoomPriceGenie is we're looking at your occupancy, we're looking at the market, we're looking at your pickup, we're looking at your pace, we're looking at all this. So we're looking at lots of different factors to work out that price for you. So you run into the risk, if you only look at occupancy, you might move your rate up when you're full because you've got a group, but the rest of the market has nothing. So then you're going to miss out if you push your rate up too high because you priced yourself out of the market.
Yeah, and then it's worth noting that our growth pilot plan is the only plan that includes the RoomPriceGenie integration. So you've still got all the other tools that come with that plan, the unlimited channels, Part one, two-part question. My regional area is localized, meaning there's only one hotel in the area. So I guess you kind of answered that before, Melody. Yeah.
Yes, we'll just go with a wider region. We can push that region out, and we will. And remember, we're not only looking at hotels, we're looking at motels, Airbnbs, holiday parks. We are looking at the whole demand in that area.
Can we have a pre-booking function in the future? Currently, the system makes unconfirmed bookings. Can we set up time for? I think this is more of a PMS question. So maybe have a little ask our support team about that. If we don't do that, we can add it to our list of things we want to develop. We currently have different prices for our website and other channels. Can that still work with this integration?
Definitely, because the whole thing, as long as that's been set up in Preno, I presume it's set up as there's an add-on. So we'll price your rooms through Preno, and we'll push it to the Preno. For instance, if you've got, we've priced it at $100, and then you've wanted booking.com to be 10% more. If you've made that adjustment in Preno already, it'll automatically push through when it's pushing to booking.com at 110.
And I guess the same applies for agents as well, hey, Melody?
Definitely. Whatever you have connected in the system, the same thing it will work with.
Do you guys provide training?
Definitely. That's the demo. That's the setup. That's the thing. We'll go through the whole process with you. And then after we've set you all up to when you're up and running, we will have a review call with our revenue managers. They'll go through the system. And along the way, if we have a really great help system that's integrated into RoomPriceGenie that guides you step by step for any question that you have, we also have a RoomPriceGenie Academy that gives you information all about hotels and anything to do with building revenue.
And just to add to that, I think I remember talking to someone who just started using RoomPriceGenie, and I was amazed at how much of the setup and the analysis and the competitor analysis you guys do. Because I remember originally I thought the hotel themselves had to basically pick the 10 properties they wanted to compare it to. But after sort of talking to them, they told me that, no, you guys do the competitor analysis. You look at who are the comparable hotels and motels and nearby properties that you can adjust your prices based on. Yeah.
All our team are ex-revenue managers or hoteliers. So, and like I said, I'm based in Australia and New Zealand for our region. So they bring that expertise to the process of setup, to the process of support, to the kind of enablement of the revenue management process for the users.
Cool. Jeez, I'm getting fast. We're getting more questions faster than I can ask them. Similar to minimum night stay, are you going to build a maximum night stay function?
You can, if you want to. You can, I guess you can interpret it as a minimum or a maximum once we do it, because you can put in a maximum rate, but that's something which we'll let you know once it's done and once it's up and running.
Tim Bobby asked the big one, how much does it cost? Where can I find the prices?
Okay, and it's on our website, but the whole thing is very transparent. You can see everything on our website, and you could have a look there. But as I said, when we do the demo, we will guide you through it all. We'll show you the pricing. You can go monthly, where there's no contractual agreements. If you decide after a couple of months, no, this is not for me, you can just let us know, and before the next billing cycle, you can cancel it with no charge at all. Or you can go annually and you get an additional 17% discount, which you'd get either way if you do decide to sign up with that 50% too. And it's based more on the number of rooms in the property. 20 and under is similar price, and anything over that, it's based on the number of rooms that we connect to.
If anyone wants any help, flick me an email, flick our support team an email, send us a message on live chat. We can connect you with RoomPriceGenie. In the same way, when you first sign up to Preno, you did a free trial and you got to understand the system. It's probably worth just, if you're curious or thinking about it, just we can set up a free trial of RoomPriceGenie. You can test it. How long's the trial for?
14 days.
14 days. So you can turn it on for 14 days, see how it works, see how much more money you make, and then decide whether to just keep it or not.
What we see is with a large chunk of the people who sign up is they come on board, they go through the free trial, and like Melody says, we don't have any lock-in contracts. We have that Netflix model available. So people go on for the month to month, they do it for 2 to 3 months, and once they have then that confidence and they're seeing the results, they then pivot to the annual package and make the use of that further saving when it comes to price. And we're confident in the product. We don't lock you down to an extended contract.
Yeah, same as Preno. How does the system work when there are big variations in ways B&B operators charge, e.g. add-on fees, cleaning, pet fees, linen fees, etc.?
I think we're looking at the fluctuation again. So if a property is charging $600 and then for that day they move their rate up to $660, we know they've moved it up by that 10%. That's the thing we're looking at. So we don't really bother about the breakdown there, because we're looking at the actual prices and whether they're moving their rates up for that day, and the fluctuation and the price, whether it's going up or down in the whole market. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah. Shelley asks, is there a report where you can show them how much more money they make?
Unfortunately, we don't have the reporting module yet too. So that's in the process of being built. We don't have a timeline on that. And also with that, just bear in mind, it's a bit of $1 million question as to, we give you an average of how much money you're going to make, and you'll see that. But it's hard to tell you in exact figures because you don't really know what circumstances are, or without this, what kind of input were you going to get. And so giving you a report with the exact amount may be difficult, but we can give you an idea of what kind of revenue you're looking at.
Cool. Well, I mean, there's still more questions, but I think we have to end it. We will follow up. I can see, Ryan, the answer to your question is yes, it still works, but everything else has kind of been answered already. So thank you so much, Andy and Melody, for taking us through this demo. demo. Cool.
Thank
And then
you,
yeah,
guys.
reach out to support. We can set you up on a free trial, or reach out to RoomPriceGenie. They can set you up one. We can make it happen. Cool. Thanks, then.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.